Hi there. So a question I get asked a lot is how many fish can I have in my tank? And that's always a hard question to answer because there's no exact answer to that. It's all gonna depend on so many factors. There's like a golden rule that says 1 inch of fish per 5 or 10 gallon, depending on the sources. But by that standard, I think pretty much everyone's tank is gonna be overstocked. Especially this one we're looking at right now with all these goldfish, which is only a 40 gallon. But in reality, there's a trick to how many fish you can have in your tank. It's all going to depend on how much filtration you have in your tank. If it's twice the capacity of your aquarium, you're usually very good on the filtration. If you have, like, let's say 100-gallon tank and your filter says 400 gallon, get 2 of those. Also, it's gonna depend on how many water changes are you willing to do on your tank. Some people only want to do it once a month. Not that I recommend it, but if you don't have too many fish and a great filter, then you're good, kind of. Like, it's all gonna go good for a while. But if you're willing to do every 2 weeks or every week, then of course you can get more fish in there. You know, up to like twice what the recommended ratio of 1 inch per 5 gallons or 10 gallons, you know, like you can get twice that. Like in this current tank, I could put twice the amount of fish if I water change it every week about 50% and clean out the filters every 2 weeks. So yes, it's possible, you can do that. Also, another way to keep your ammonia down and nitrates and everything is to have plants in the tank. So plants help greatly to reduce any bad stuff in your water. You know, they help filtrate. They're basically like a natural filtration for your tank. It removes everything that the fish produce, you know, whether it be CO2 or their poop. It's all like, it's good for the plants. So they feed up on that. And if you cannot have plants directly inside your tank because maybe a goldfish or cichlids are going to eat them, then I suggest just putting plants inside of your filter or in just the roots inside of the aquarium, or create an aquaponics system, which basically is either a tub or a box above the aquarium or next to it. There's like many ways to create an aquaponics setup, but basically what that would do is pumping the water from your aquarium into the plant substrate and then falling back or being pumped back into your tank. So that way you greatly reduce your need for water changes and maintenance because it's a self-sufficient setup. This tank currently, I clean the filter once every 3 weeks to a month, and I do 50% water change every 3 weeks. And there's no algae, there's no nothing, and I feed like twice a day the fish. So it really like depends on what is your filtration, if you have plants or not, and if you're willing to do your water changes. And you know, it could go like many ways from this point on. Like sometimes when you have some snails inside of your tank, if you see their population grow, well, that means your tank is dirty and you either overfeed or you don't water change enough. Snails like ram's horn snails and Malaysian trumpet snails, or even the parasitic snails, sometimes the population is fine inside of a tank. You won't see them everywhere. But if ever you forget your water changes and your water gets dirty, they thrive on that dirty water. So you end up with so many snails everywhere in your tank. You'll start blocking your filter. That's when you know you just have way too many fish, or you're not taking care of your aquarium properly. So that's up to you to evaluate which you're not doing or how many fish you have in total, you know. So there's no exact golden rule because it will depend on your individual aquarium setup, you know. So Yeah, that's pretty much my advice is. Actually, I don't advise normally getting snails, like if you have plants, like sometimes they come with the plants. But one of the best snails to have in your aquarium is Malaysian trumpet snails. They're really good at stirring up your substrate. And also, if the population grows, then you know you have a little bit of a problem in your tank. So that's it. I think I've covered it pretty much without giving you an exact answer, but yet a few clues to how to keep your fish alive. So if you have any questions or comments, please just write below. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you for watching.